Hi, this is Jennifer Glazer. Welcome to the Miracle Neighborhood. Today, I have a very special guest, Scott Berger. He and Larry Goldberg have created their own nonprofit organization called Palisades Dolphin Strong. I'm very excited to have him here because, as I've mentioned to listeners before, the purpose of this podcast is for us to tell our stories and to be unified and primarily to help all of us rebuild our community since we have had so much loss. Scott here has had this very compelling drive along with Larry to help the community.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for having me here. It's my first podcast too. I'm really excited and probably a little nervous too to share with you our story and how we got started and the benefit concert that's coming up on July 20th.
And I'm excited to have you, and I'm glad that you're taking the leap of faith with me. I think we have this very strong shared goal of wanting to help the community. And I hope, and you're already doing some great things, and I want to hear all about them, and our listeners do too. Tell me about the concert first, since we know that's coming up soon.
Absolutely. So the Amazing Music Store Benefit Concert is designed to raise money for Patrick Hildebrand and his family and the Amazing Music Store that was tragically lost on the fire. They have been a cornerstone of the Palisades community for decades. Many, many people will know who they are and what they bring to the table and how they've, excuse me, helped those musicians. Some became professional musicians, some just do it for fun, but just the love of music and the spirit that music brings to everybody and to our community as well.
And my daughter actually is a recipient of that wonderful legacy of music. EJ, Patrick's your son, actually has been my daughter's voice coach. And so, what's going to happen at this concert?
So,
And what's the time and where's it going to be?
what the idea behind that was, let's bring in Patrick Sr. and let him enjoy the evening of some of the students that he's taught over the years and his family. He's also going to get up there and play a little bit. At the end of the evening, they're going to have a little all-star jam there with many musicians on the stage. It's going to be held at the historic Women's Club in Santa Monica on 4th Street from 5 o'clock to about 9 o'clock. There'll be food and live music, obviously, and some beverages, and hopefully a great community evening with seeing old faces and making new friends and just bringing music and community back to the Palisades was the goal.
That's a beautiful thing that you're doing.
So we have a few sponsors for this event, and I'd like to mention a couple right now.
Please.
So Lucid Motors, the electric car company, they're a luxury brand. They have opened up their showroom and wonderful flagship store for them in Beverly Hills. We're able to have an event there, multiple events if they allow us. They get to do something good for the community. They open up their showroom and then they get test drives. And
I'm going to test drive a car, the new Gravity.
Right? It's beautiful. Another is Matador Fire Defense System. They use an organic material to deliver this fire retardant to their property on their home and the surrounding vegetation. They are gifting two 50-gallon drums, barrels of material, and the delivery system along with that to be auctioned off at our event. And our presenting sponsor is Everlasting Homes Building Group. They have donated to be auctioned off on this Sunday a complete architectural rendering of structural interior and exterior design, and that values over $140,000. And then people can check out what they do through their website, which is everlastinghomesgroup.com.
So
they can go onto our website, palisadesdolphinstrong.org, to purchase tickets. They range from $75 for general admission to $125 for VIP. We should have a great evening and look forward to seeing your listeners there.
Fantastic. Scott, tell me, how did Palisades Dolphin Strong come together, and, you know, what inspired you to do this?
I haven't lived in the Palisades for quite some time, but I grew up there. I moved with my family from New England, 1977, moved to the Highlands. When I was watching everything unfold on the news, like many people were, seeing the posts of my classmates, my friends, and the people who have businesses there, I was just sad beyond belief. I probably cried for 2 or 3 days straight, not realize and not comprehending what I was watching and the loss. I figured if I felt this bad and I personally did not lose anything except memories, then the people who did must be absolutely devastated. So as a few days started to pass, I started to call some of my friends and classmates. I realized that GoFundMe's are great, but there's only so much that I personally could contribute to. And I felt that my thoughts and prayers would fall short of what I could actually do. So the idea was just start calling people and seeing how they were doing and reaching out to them, talking to them on the phone instead of just texting or emailing.
Right, that personal connection is so vital,
Absolutely. And
especially
today's
today.
right. Everybody's this electronic minded. So it's easy just to like a post or whatever. And um, so I posted something on Facebook explaining a little bit of my history from the Palisades and how I grew up there and how special of a community it was and how it really changed me as a person. I spoke to my friend Larry Goldberg, who's an all-state agent, and we're class of 82, Pali High. And I think we realized that we were upset, and when I told him that the amazing music store had burned down, along with other businesses like Jerry Blank's Martial Arts Center, which I have been a part of since I'm 18 years old.
And I
And
also took self-defense lessons from him as
right,
well.
right. So I think a lot of people have gone through his dojo, whether they're children or them personally or as a family. Same with the music store. It's generational. I have taught children and grandchildren of students. It's a pretty amazing place, as is the music store. After I spoke to Larry, the first time we kind of were tearing up and choking up on the phone, and he says, "Okay, so what are we going to do?" I said, "Well, I really don't know what. I really don't know how. I just know why we need to do something."
How did
Asking.
you get from this place of empathy? You felt badly for others, you have these close connections to the community and friends that are suffering, and to starting an organization.
Initially, we didn't have the name or the specific idea that we would create a nonprofit organization, but it was created out of this urgent need to jump in there.
And
And
help others. There's a lot of Pally Strongs out there. How are you different from others, and why it's Palisades Dolphin?
right, so our high school, Pally High, is the mascot is the dolphin, and dolphin are really a family. They're united. They work together. They're intelligent, they're resourceful, and they're also playful. We all kind of decided that that would be good to call ourselves Dolphin. We refer ourselves as the pod.
Great. Now that you have the 501(c)(3), what is your intention, and how have you gone about helping people?
One of the main things is we want to bring trusted resources to the community, whether it's cleaning up or preserving their land value through real estate agents that will look at their property, without a fee or insurance.
Okay, so you're offering these services
Pro bono.
pro bono. Wonderful. Okay.
That's right. So a lot of people are confused about their insurance or they're overwhelmed or they're fatigued and they just may not know the questions to ask or they may be getting shut down from their carrier that was giving them the runaround.
They can come to you through your organization and possibly get an appointment with somebody or get connected, and
That's right.
then okay.
We have several insurance people who can look at their policy and guide them
Oh, great.
through a pro bono service. So there's so many layers to the onion in recovery. You have everything from cleanup to getting to the blueprint stage and then building. And then how do you build? Or do you just sell your property and move on? And I know a lot of people don't want to leave the Palisades because it is a generational place for them, or it's just a very special place that holds a lot of memories, and they want to eventually come back. But are they going to do it in a safe way? They're going to do it in a manner that they're building with the same traditional materials that susceptible to fire and
Uh-huh.
earthquake and stuff like that. So
So
I
I
think
was
that
at one of your events and they had a builder that was there. They were talking a lot about their materials having special proprietary materials that are resistant to fire or help with earthquakes, flooding, all of that.
that's
And
right.
it wasn't too different in terms of cost, square footage wise, than a traditional build.
Absolutely. So we've had quite a few builders come to us and ask if we can help them. We really want to vet these companies and make
Mhm.
sure that they're solid, making sure that they have their heart in the right place. They're not just vultures coming in from out of town. Even if they come from out of town, that's not the issue. The issue is, are they bringing something of value to the community? Are they going to do it in a manner that's going to be sensitive to people right now that are going through a very traumatic thing? We're only 6 months past,
Mhm.
um, the fire in January, so there's all these factors that we have to be very careful. So this particular company you're talking about is called Everlasting Homes Building Group, and they have a system called SCIP. That's SCIP, stands for Structural Concrete Insulated Panels. And the interesting thing about that, as you mentioned, is the cost is really not much more than the traditional build. So you're looking at between $500 and $600 a square foot, and on a relatively flat lot. I'm not a builder, so I can't speak
Mhm.
like a professional.
It's a sensitive situation. It's definitely um, has taken a psychological toll. None of these people planned to build. This wasn't something where they thought, I'm going to do a remodel or we're going to rebuild our home all over again. And so it's a process for sure. Approaching it in a different way than you would a normal build. As you said, we're just like 6 months out, and there's a lot of factors involved, and people don't know how to get started. I talk to friends that are very much underinsured, and they're trying to figure out, well, what's the next step? And they want to have trusted builders, they want to have trust in architects, and they need to get
That's
through
right.
the permitting process. And so, is this some of the things that your organization is trying to help with?
Absolutely. So, what we're trying to do is offer different options for individuals. So, each family, each lot has the opportunity to create their own blueprint of how they want to proceed. But one of the things that you touched on, I just kind of want to circle back to, is the emotional and mental toll that is taken on the community. Even if you just were one that had to relocate and you did not lose your home, and the process that has you know, pulled you out of your home and your animals
Displaced.
displaced. You're out of your community. Your kids can't go to ballet class and to music school.
The
Elementary,
normalcy
the
has
sense of
been stripped.
normalcy. Exactly. So one of the things that we want to offer is the mental health side of this, and kind of fill the gaps of where government and other agencies are falling short. Larry and I basically have self-funded this. We didn't ask for any money up front from people. We figured out how to fund it ourselves. We're not out to, you know, ask for people's money. If it's something that resonates with them and
Mhm.
they want to donate or attend an event or something to help, like the music store that's coming up next Sunday, and we'd love to have them be a part of that in our organization. We have opportunities for volunteers. We're 100% volunteer organization. Nobody gets paid. Maybe down the road there'll be an opportunity to hire staff, but right now we're not there.
Certainly, this is a wonderful place you're coming from, trying to get the community together, help people in these initial stages of rebuilding. It's a daunting task. My hope with this, with people listening, is that they're going to hear how people could potentially help them, but also what other people in our community are doing. It's a way to find these community events where they can gather and connect again.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right. And to know that they're being supported by, not just their own family, and the community is really behind them, and that they should know that, because after 6 months, we don't see as much in the news. The news cycle goes very quickly. So there are opportunities for people to give as far as their time, their expertise, and as well as funds too.
wonderful. Well, since this podcast, it's called Miracle Neighborhood, and I had decided to title it because I do think it was a miracle that, my neighborhood survived, but there were several miracles that did happen in that day. There's also obviously a lot of devastation. So I do try to look at how we can move forward, how we can grow together, and how we could really focus on finding the miracles of each day. I'm curious, did you have divine sort of feeling, anything in terms of creating this that you felt a connection to or had a desire that propelled you to kind of create this organization?
Nicole Espinosa is my classmate also. She came in early as one of our board members. She had found this logo of a dolphin. Actually, it's two dolphins in the shape of a heart, and it's a beautiful logo. She purchased that so we could use that as our logo. And surrounding the dolphins was like this colorful, what I thought it was a floral design. About a month into what we had created, I was looking at the name of the file in my computer, and it was called the Bellino Fire Dolphin.
Oh, wow.
And the fact that those were flames around the dolphin and not like a floral pattern
Wow.
really was wild to me. And
Wow.
it's
It's
just like
pretty incredible.
it was like an aha moment. Like we
Right.
were on the right track. Now, I'd say that there are so many little tiny miracles that happen each day, connections, people finding us
Hmm.
instead of us seeking them. So the idea is to attract people so we can impact people. Our approach is to have short steps with a long vision, because long term recovery is just that.
I'm very happy that you took the time to come here today and talk about, Palisades Dolphin Strong and how this, organically came together. And I feel honored that you did it on, our Miracle Neighborhood podcast. And thank you for coming.
You're very welcome.
And also, before you go, what is the website?
It's palisadesdolphinstrong.org.
We have your organization that's committed to try to help people through this process.
Absolutely.
And so they can reach out. So
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much for coming.